from the marketplace early in the morning. About the third hour, he went out again and he saw others standing in the marketplace doing nothing. He told them, "You also go and work in my vineyard and I will pay you whatever is right." So they went. And he went out again about the 6th hour and the 9th hour and did the same thing. About the 11th hour, he went out and found still others standing around. He asked them, "Why have you been standing here all day long doing nothing?" "Because no one has hired us," they answered. He said to them, "You also go and work in my vineyard." So he hired laborers early in the day, at the 3rd hour, at the 6th hour, at the 9th hour, and at the 11th hour. So these people worked all day. When the evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, "Call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last ones hired and going to the first." Remember, the last ones were hired at the 11th hour, and he tells his foreman to pay them the first. The workers who were hired about the 11th hour came and each received a denarius. So when those who came, who were hired first, they expected to receive more, but each one of them also received a denarius. When they received it, they began to grumble against the landowner. "These men who were hired last worked only 1 hour," they said, "and you have made them equal to us, who have borne the burden of the work and the heat of the day." But he answered one of them, "Friends, I'm not being unfair to you. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius? Take your pay and go. I want to give the men who were hired last the same as I gave you. Don't I have the right to do what I want to do with my own money? Or are you envious because I am generous? So the last will be the first, and the first will be the last." This is from Matthew's. The hadith, and there are several versions of this hadith which exist in Sahih Bukhari, which is considered one of the 2 Sahihs, the most authentic, the song collection of hadith in the Sunni tradition. And there are several different versions, and it's very important to note that Imam Bukhari classifies them in 2 different, in several different abwab, several different chapters of his collection, and this one is from the time of Salah, Mawaqit al-Salah. There is one version that exists in Kitab al-Ijara, the book of hiring. There are other versions which exist on there, but this one, Bab man adraka raqata min al-asr qabla al-ghurub, this is very, very interesting, and this is the intellectual tradition with which we want to interact. Why would he classify this hadith in the Kitab of Mawaqit al-Salah, the times of the Salah? So that we'll go into it tomorrow, inshallah. So this hadith, again, is similar to what exists in Matthew's, but with certain differences. مَثَلُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ وَالْيَهُودِ وَالنَّصَارَى كَمَثَلِ رَجُلٍ اسْتَجَارَ قَوْمًا يَعْمَلُوا لَهُ عَمَلًا إِلَى اللَّيْلِ فَعَمِلُوا إِلَى نِصْفِ النَّهَارِ فَقَالُوا لَا حَاجَةَ لَنَا إِلَىٰ أَجْرِكَ فَاسْتَجَارَ آخَرِينَ فَقَالَ أَكْمِلُوا بقية يومكم ولكم الذي شرطتم فعملوا حتى إذا كان حين صلاة العصر قالوا لك ما عملنا فاستجار قوما فعملوا بقية يومهم حتى غابت الشمس واستكملوا أجر الفريقين. The distinction here is that in the hadith we have the specification of the Yehud and the Nisara, the Jews and the Christians. So the essential meaning, the inner meaning of the hadith is the same as the parable that exists in the New Testament. And there are other versions. Here, this is from Kitab of hiring, Al-Ijara ila Nisf al-Nahar. So and there are other specific hadiths about the time, zaman, being less in substance, each successive day being less in substance. And this is, we will have to go tomorrow deeper into it, inshallah. But I hope this partially gets us thinking, start us thinking on this issue, which is a fundamental issue of the progress narrative that started with the scientific revolution, that human race as such is on the path of progress, and this tied in with the evolution. In biology, the theory of evolution was a result not of experimental science, but of a philosophical outlook on the nature of time itself. And this is one of the fundamental aspects which have created this spiritual crisis, in which inshallah we'll go deeper tomorrow.